feeds us this false perception of beauty. The stick-thin supermodels and photoshopped angelic faces that appear in magazines, movies, and television instill the idea in our minds that this is what a woman needs to look like in order to be beautiful. But in truth, these illustrations are completely artificial and non-existent. Television commercials and movie actresses lead us to believe that we are too tall or too fat or just too ugly. We can never be satisfied with our own appearance because we're held to a standard of perfection, a standard that is unreachable because it is not real. In reality, the average weight of an adult female in the United States is 163 pounds. That's a size 12. The women we see in the media are no indication to this reality. This false perception of beauty is killing the self-esteem of young girls and women. According to the Dove Campaign for Real Beauty, 71% of girls with low self-esteem say it stems from them not feeling pretty enough, thin enough, or stylish enough. This low self-esteem leads to negative behaviors such as eating disorders, the use of drugs and alcohol, and physically hurting themselves. This is a crisis. It isn't right that women are constrained to the invisible boundaries that society has created to keep women in check. Between the 1940s and the 1960s, women left the traditional role of the housewife and became economically independent. The end of the 1960s fashion era is what most historians call style for all. But in 1969, Vogue magazine took a bold step in focusing on body image. Between 1968 and 1972, the number of diet-related articles rose up to 70%. There is a direct correlation, I believe, with this change in the power that women were gaining in society. It's quite obvious that society cannot deal with empowered women, and therefore they find any way to bring them down. The beauty myth is just another way to oppress women socially, but girls and women need to understand that beauty comes in all shapes, forms, and sizes. At one point or another, every aspect of a female's physical attributes have been considered attractive. For example, a full chest has not always been an ideal asset. In the 1920s, flapper women strived for flat chests. Today, full lips would be considered a desirable feature, but in the 18th century England, it was repulsive. Women need to love themselves for who they are, and the media needs to stop condemning them based on how they look. I'm sick of women being judged because of the way they look. If I'm pretty, then I'm not serious about anything. If I'm just concerned with my looks. If I'm ugly, then I'm not good enough. Just because I don't look like the women on TV doesn't mean I'm less of a person, because beauty does not define me. I define my beauty. For Youth Radio, I'm Fareeza Ali. To hear this commentary and more, go to www.youthradio.org.